Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Plants vs. Zombies. I'm Nye.
I'm Mako.
And I want a Dr. Pepper chocolate ice cream float.
I do know that Dr. Pepper goes really well with chocolate.
Yeah.
Just really well with chocolate.
Yeah, it makes a perfect float. So good.
Speaking of floating... Hello.
Oh, God.
The balloon zombie has arrived. So the balloon zombie is very specific about what it does. It floats over everything, and yes, this does include tall nuts. Which is really goddamn obnoxious. So, in order to deal with that, you use the cactus. And I will say this, I actually like the cactus. It's one of the non-pea shooter style shrooms that I do like. Let's see, what do I want to use here? Oh, whoops. Crap. Crap. 1 second. I forgot what level we were on. Hold on. I forgot to give myself a lantern. I knew there was something I was missing.
Wait, did you already... Are you canceling the recording for this?
No.
Okay.
Oh, right. I can hit restart level and brings it back here. Okay, so I need that.
On another subject, viewers. Don't you guys just love the Havoc physics engine and all the weird shit that happens from it? I'm playing Dark Souls 2 right now, and doing the LP, and I'm looking at this piece of rock from Broken Pillar, and it's just rocking back and forth, and has been for 5 minutes straight.
Have you been sitting there staring at it for 5 minutes straight?
Maybe.
Trance, I think we
It's
need to find
oddly
you...
hypnotizing.
We might need to find you a game that has more to do in it than stare at a rock as it rocks back and forth. There are games like that,
boring
you know.
recording style. Burn! Anyway.
There are games like that, where you actually do things. Like Plants vs. Zombies,
because
where I
I've got a
click randomly.
record in progress crest? Just
Are you making a
because
sandwich?
I have a record in progress quest does not mean that I enjoy doing things that are strictly boring.
Yes,
How
it does,
the
actually.
hell can I speak
That is
perfectly when I'm
exactly
using
what
an
that
accent?
means.
What the hell, Brain? Oh, hey, you want to talk normally using your normal voice? Nope, you can't speak at all. Want to sound like a drunken Scotsman? Perfect speech every time.
I'm not sure if I'd go that far.
Rita Pecker, you great bouncing thing.
Actually, you know what game I want to play? Because I remember playing it a long time ago, and the ideas in the game kind of interested me, and I never finished it. Ark the Lad.
Oh, God.
There's a lot of them. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Hey, but not...
It had some cool ideas, but I'm trying to remember which one it was specifically. Trez, have you played all of them?
Yes.
It was the one that had... There's the demons and the humans, and you had a separate party of each.
It's the third one on the PlayStation 1.
It wasn't a PlayStation 1 because I never had that.
It was.
I will repeat this.
You probably played it on your PS2.
But it wasn't a PS1 copy of the game.
You know, there were PS2. There were 2.5 ones on the PS1 and another 2.5 on the PS2.
Okay, that makes more sense. I mean,
No, it's Ark the Lad Twilight of Spirits,
That's
and that one was PS2.
That
was PS2, yeah. There was, as I said, there was, from what I know, and I don't know everything much as I'd like to say it, for the PS1 there was Ark the Lad 1 and Ark the Lad 2, which were kind of, the standard tactical. Then there was, the standard arena style sort of add-on special that they did later. That had, 1, 2, and a bonus. Then there was a couple of extra ones for the PS2, which was, there's Twilight of Spirits, there was, what is it that I've got?
Twilight of Spirit, there was
one more. Come on, one more.
End of Darkness, and there was one more that nobody wants to admit exists.
Heijin Fukatsu.
Might not be it. I might be getting the other one mixed up with the one I'm thinking of. Either way, there was a couple of them, and they were all... One was good, and one was really lousy. I remember that there was one that was really, really lousy, and nobody wanted to touch. It was like the Shining... It was like the new Shining whatever.
Shining Force?
No.
Shining Darkness?
No. Shining Force or the Shining series got a action RPG thing for the PS2, and the very first one got panned. Like, universally panned. And like this particular iteration of Arc the Lad for the PS2 was its shining game. Nobody would touch it if they could help it.
You know, there's a particular game that I don't think a lot of people have played. And it's so good. Alundra.
Oh yes, I remember Alundra.
It was an amazing Zelda-like on the PS1. Fantastic gameplay, great story, lovely music, really, 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 really depressing.
Is that the one that Urto did?
Yeah, the one where Ura kept a kill count.
Yep.
Yeah.
And at the end it was something like, the only reason it doesn't have a 100% kill count is because you survived, and that's debatable.
Yeah, I remember watching the Let's Play of that for, like, a certain amount of episodes, and I stopped watching.
It's a fantastic game, but it's just... And you get to die, and you get to die. Well, the orphan doesn't die. The orphan especially dies.
The orphan was the first one, I just didn't tell you because I wanted you to find out later.
No, orphan wasn't the first one. I think it was the old man. No, he survives, but then dies later.
Yeah. No, I remember watching Ura
You just
do
need to
some of
remember,
that.
all you need to know is about 90% of the named characters end up biting it in some way.
And 100% of the unnamed characters.
Yeah, if it has a portrait, it might survive, maybe, but don't count on it, because it's likely not that lucky.
Okay, so we just gained a new plant that I really don't want to use. The Blover. All
Now-
it does is blows away fog and blows away balloon zombies, and does not contribute to your offensive capabilities in any other way.
Now, the Blover. Since I never used the cactus much, the Blover was actually a standby for me.
I've been asked to try doing stupid things, so I'm going to use transit strategy. No, that's not how I was asked to do it. I was asked if I would use alternative strategies that I don't normally use, so I will use transit strategy. So we'll use the Blover.
What was I going to say? Sorry, I've just lost my train of thought.
Don't
Yeah,
worry,
yeah.
those derail for everyone all the time.
As I said, Arc the Lad, there's a whole bunch of good games that nobody seems to remember anymore. I've got one that I'm quite fond of that very few people seem to remember, Dual Hearts.
I remember hearing about it.
It sounds familiar, but
It was an action sort of adventure similar to Zelda in design, with the gimmick being that all the worlds were sort of, well, all the meaningful worlds were set inside people's dreams, and you were essentially marshalling a Baku, a Dream Eater, around as your secondary party member. And
Weird.
almost all of your special abilities related to him. So like he could like eat these little dream critters to get MP, and you'd use that MP to fuel his special abilities and to heal you, because healing items were next to like impossible to find.
Now, that reminds me of Okage Shadow Lord.
that was
another
a strange game.
another good
And
well,
bad in general, honestly.
I liked it, but it had quite a few gremlins.
The
It
main
was-
gremlin being every enemy in the game. All the combat, all of it.
Yeah,
That gremlin?
yeah.
It was an interesting game. It had a good sense of humor.
It did. For folks who are not aware of the game, I'm going to advise you to not go get it. I'm telling you that right off the bat. Don't. But the game was very interesting for a couple of reasons. You're a little kid whose shadow is taken over by the King of Shadows, and he's kind of stuck there, so you have to go find a way to stop it.
Well, you willfully give him your shadow because he agrees to remove a curse on your sister.
Oh, right.
Basically, the whole thing about Ari, the main character, is he has been overshadowed his entire life. No pun intended.
Oh,
Well,
right.
pun
That's
intended.
why I don't like the Blover. Now I remember.
It's one use. Yeah.
Yeah, and it all comes back. Right, that's why I hate that item.
But anyway, yeah, Ari has basically been overshadowed metaphorically and realistically his entire life. Like he is that he is that kid, you know, the one everybody remembers but nobody actually pays attention to.
Yep.
He's remembered only because he's not remembered.
Now,
I believe his sister also thinks she's the protagonist or something.
She does, but she's like just a bit character. But what most people remember for it is its unique sense of humor and its unique graphical style.
And it's terrible combat.
Yes. Essentially, it's the best way to describe it graphically is it's an RPG designed by Tim Burton.
Or Tim Schafer. I mean, either one.
Or both, possibly.
Yeah.
Tim Burton Schafer.
But it's, as I said, it has a good sense of humor. Problem is, the combat is terrible, and it's also one of those rare RPGs where, if the main character goes down, combat stops immediately.
Yep, you lose no matter what. What got to me is I ended up playing it for about an hour to an hour and a half. By the way, I will say this, it is still on my shelf behind me on my pile of PS2 games that I eventually hope to get around to playing again. I want to give it another chance because it is kind of charming in a dog with two legs kind of way.
Speaking of...
The problem was I ended up
games.
playing it for an hour, and when I played it for an hour, I got into two different combat situations. One combat situation ended with me winning really, really well. I did fantastically, it was a good time, and I learned how to play the combat system. Therefore, it was the tutorial combat system, for those of you who did not piece that together yet.
Actually, let me point something out. This is actually the only RPG I can name where you can lose the tutorial very easily.
Yep.
You will, if you just use the standard attack like it tells you, you will die in the tutorial and you will game over immediately.
Yep. The problem with the game, the major problem, kind of the acknowledged problem by those who play it, is that the difficulty in combat is incredibly swingy.
Yeah.
It goes back and forth with no provocation whatsoever.
It's not just the difficulty. You know how damage most special attacks attacks will do like damage within a set range.
Yeah.
That range is like about 50% greater than most people are going to be willing to put up with.
Yep.
Now, there are, as I said, my biggest problem is the main character, Ari. He has to be in the party at all times. He's a reasonable melee fighter, but there's a problem. Again, if he dies, the game is over. And there are two kinds of special abilities. There are sort of special abilities and there's magic. And magic builds off of, a party-wide stat point, they call it labor points. And the other skills consume HP. Ari is not a magic user, so all of his special abilities consume HP.
And if he dies, game over.
Yes.
You can see where the problem lies. There was that, there's always Radiata stories, which no one remembers.
I've played that. I've never been able to get into it.
I have that. I like the idea behind it, but it is so schizophrenic in its design.
Well, I originally bought it because it's made by the same group who made Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Same
Which
company.
was a good game, but the
good game.
plot was fucking stupid.
I thought it was okay once you eventually get through everything. When you get to the end, it's a pretty decent plot.
It's not that it's not fun. It's fun as hell. It's just dumb.
Did you actually get to the very end?
Yes.
Final cutscene?
Oh, no, I did. I know that eventually major spoilers. What? You're fucking kidding. Completely recharacterizes the first two games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't even get that far? Because if you didn't get that far, you haven't seen the plot. You haven't even seen a glimpse of the plot. You've seen...
okay. May I spoil some?
I prefer you didn't, because it means
then
I have
I'm
to
not
put...
saying what I know, but I know the whole game.
Because, I mean, if you don't know those major spoilers, that specific set of major this changes everything spoilers, then you don't know the plot.
I know them, and I know what they change, and I know that they change all the other games.
Yeah.
Now, because of this, it completely... Oh, hold on a minute, folks.
The thing about that is if those spoilers don't end up mattering, and I don't think they did, like, they changed the concept of the previous games, but they don't change enough to matter. Hey, look! We got a taco!
Yay!
Woo-hoo, we got a taco!
The thing with those major spoilers
What are you
is
going to do with a taco?
it's a cool idea, but it turns the games from really good games into like an absurd B-movie game,
Well, here,
but not in a bad way. It's just weird.
let's talk about it next episode. Where I
don't
can
know how to
preface
word
the
it.
episode with a warning.
I do know there is one game that
Hold your
it is
trance.
of a major line
Trance.
Trance.
by a company that doesn't really do
Trance.
RPGs. I think
Trance.
this is actually the only RPG line they ever did, but
Trance.
the game Breath of Fire 4.
Trance.
Trance.
I found not a lot of people played it,
Trance. I'm
Trance.
ending the episode.
and
We've been trying to end the episode for 40
It's
seconds
amazing.
now. I think he has us on mute.
He's not listening.
Nope. Folks, we'll see you later.